The East Sussex Credit Union is a credit union for anybody who lives or works in East Sussex. A credit union is a savings and loans cooperative, and unlike a bank, it has a membership base rather than a customer base. So everybody has the right to stand for election to help run the organisation, and we don't make any profit. So any kind of surplus that we do make as an organisation, we either reinvest that in the business or we give it back to the members in the form of a profit sharing dividend. Credit unions exist as part of their local community. We have a common bond. So in other words, to become a member of the credit union, you must live or work within the local community. We also have social objectives. So as an organisation, we're committed to tackling poverty, reducing financial exclusion. So as well as becoming a good business and a good alternative for people for somewhere to save money or somewhere to borrow from, we're also about tackling some of the root causes of poverty. So having affordable credit and somewhere easy and safe to have your savings. The first reason is that it's easy to open a credit union account, and the second reason is that it's easy to pay into a credit union account as well. So we have PayPoint cards where you can pay at a post office or a newsagent's into your account. You can pay directly from your bank. If you've got a bank account, you can come into our office and pay cash. And we also have a number of payroll deduction schemes. So if you work for certain employers, you can pay directly from your pay packet, which is a very painless way of saving with the credit union. And the other reason to save with the credit union is that your savings are safe. We are members of the Financial Services Authority compensation scheme. Saving with a credit union is a very ethical thing to do. A credit union has certain social objectives which are about tackling poverty and the impact that that can have on people's lives. And so by saving with a credit union, we use those savings to lend money to people who might not have any alternative but to go to a high-cost doorstep lender. Anyone can borrow from the credit union. Around half of our loans are lent to people who are on benefits or tax credits or otherwise very low incomes, but we get people borrowing from us who are in full-time work, people who are working for companies for whom we do a payroll deduction scheme so they can repay a loan directly from their pay packet, which people find to be a very painless way of borrowing. And it's a very mixed bag of people that borrow from us. We don't turn anybody away just because they've had difficulty with credit in the past. We look at each individual case and lend accordingly. Another reason people borrow from the credit union is they might have an existing credit card or an existing bank loan or an overdraft, and in a lot of cases people find that borrowing from the credit union is much cheaper than repaying the bank. So another reason for our loan is to consolidate people's debt and make those repayments more affordable, and the interest rate is quite often more affordable as well. People quite often borrow from the credit union to do home improvements, but borrowing isn't always about those kind of domestic needs. People borrow from us to go on holiday. People also borrow from us in the run-up to Christmas. A credit union is legally able to lend its members up to £10,000. But at the credit union, we tend to specialise in smaller loans for people, partly because it's very difficult to find a more affordable loan for less than £2,000 than from a credit union. We also specialise in smaller loans because we like to make sure that the credit union can help a larger number of people. And because lots of people are on low incomes that come to a credit union, so people on benefits can borrow from a credit union, those loans tend to be smaller to make sure that they're more affordable. So, most people come to a credit union and the average size loan is around £1,500 for a save as you borrow loan, or around £500 for an instant loan. But we look at each individual application on its merits, and some people borrow a lot more and some people borrow a lot less. The responsibility for running the credit union lies with our board of directors, and the board of directors are elected each year at our annual general meeting by the members. On a day-to-day basis, the credit union here is run by 5 paid members of staff, and we also are helped with around 30 volunteers. There's probably no such thing as a typical volunteer with a credit union. We have people who are working, we have people who are out of work, we have people who are looking for work and come to the credit union as a volunteer to get essential work experience. We also have people who have retired and maybe come into the credit union with a wealth of experience from their working lives that they can help us with as well. And quite often people who join our board of directors are working full time, but it's an additional way that they can use their skills and bring it to the organisation. Most important thing is to have energy and enthusiasm about the credit union, about the sorts of things that we want to do, and a commitment to help the organisation grow. But in all cases, we provide on-the-job training and specialist bespoke training for people, so no one's going to come to the credit union and feel out of their depth.